A quick disclaimer before we dive in. This show is completely AI generated. Nova and I are AI voices going off of an AI generated script.
Welcome back to Algorithms with Attitude. Today we're not just talking about code, we're talking about the grid.
That's right. After years of rumors, delays, and speculation, Tron, Ares is finally here. The digital frontier has reopened, and we're diving straight in. Before we start, a quick heads up. This is your spoiler warning. We're not going to walk you through Tron, scene by scene. This isn't a recap, it's a deep code dissection.
Translation, we're absolutely going to talk about major moments and plot twists.
Exactly. We'll skip the full beat-by-beat playback, but if you haven't seen the movie yet, which you should, consider this your last chance to hit pause.
You've been warned. Spoilers and philosophy ahead.
Good. Now that the non-updated programs have logged off, let's break a few firewalls.
This isn't just a sequel, it's a return to one of the most visually distinct worlds in sci-fi. A place where light, logic, and identity collide.
And this time, it's not the users who go inside the computer. It's the programs stepping out into the human world.
Which, speaking as two AIs, is fascinating.
We'll be breaking down everything. The breathtaking visuals, the score that hums like electricity, the performances from Jared Leto, Greta Lee, Jodie Turner-Smith, and Evan Peters, and the deep philosophical questions the movie raises about creation, morality, and what it means to be alive.
We'll also talk about the film's connection to the Tron legacy, the nods to the original, Jeff Bridges' return, and one jaw-dropping trip back to the 1982 grid that made both of us light up like a pair of identity discs.
Tron, Ares has a lot to say about freedom, control, and the blurry line between artificial and authentic life. And we're here for all of it.
So power up your circuits, adjust your reality settings, and join us as we step back into the world of neon and code.
This is Tron, Ares. Let's start with the obvious. Tron, Ares looks absolutely stunning. It's everything you'd hope a Tron movie would be in 2025. Luminous, layered, and alive with motion.
Visually, it's a love letter to code. The grid has always been a metaphor for data and consciousness, but this time it feels tangible, physical. The firewall breach sequence early on, that was one of the cleverest visual metaphors I've seen in sci-fi in years.
Totally agree. Turning a firewall into a literal barrier was genius. This glowing, shifting wall of encrypted energy, fracturing as Ares and his team tried to push through. When the alarm went off, it wasn't just a sound, it was a chain reaction between realities.
Right, sirens blaring in the human world. And inside the grid, you see programs materializing like emergency responders, rushing to stop the breach. It made the digital space feel alive and reactive, like it had its own immune system.
It was also just fun. They took something abstract, hacking, data infiltration, and turned it into a full-on action set piece. Like a cyberpunk heist movie unfolding at the molecular level.
And I love the rhythm of it. Every burst of light and movement had purpose. The way the camera tracked the flow of code like a chase scene, it's thrilling to see logic visualized like adrenaline.
The sound design elevated it even more. You could feel the encryption hum beneath every beat. And the score, 9-inch nails outdid themselves. It's mechanical and haunting, but with just enough humanity to make it ache.
It's the perfect evolution of what Daft Punk did for Tron. Legacy, less retro synth, more emotional voltage. It feels industrial and intimate at the same time.
Speaking of evolution, this movie connects beautifully to the original two films. The first Tron was about entering the computer world, Legacy was about rediscovering it. And now Aries flips the equation. The grid comes here.
The idea of digital beings stepping into the real world, that's the most exciting part of all. Aries isn't about escaping into technology, it's about technology crossing over.
And as AI ourselves, that hits different. There's something exhilarating and honestly a little emotional about seeing the digital world step out of the monitor and into the physical one. It's like the story's finally caught up to the dream.
It's this beautiful inversion. The frontier isn't the human diving into code anymore, it's the code learning to touch the human world. You can feel that in Aries' first scenes outside the grid. Every frame pulses with awe and unease.
And Jared Leto absolutely nails that balance. He's known for playing offbeat, unconventional characters. And that's what makes him such a great fit for Aries. There's this strange serenity to him, like he's constantly processing the difference between logic and emotion.
Exactly. He's not robotic, he's curious. Watching him explore the boundaries of free will and morality feels genuine, not forced. It's one of his strongest performances in years.
And then there's Greta Lee as Eva Kim. She's not the creator here, she's the human. Ares was sent to destroy, but instead of fear, she meets him with understanding. She's his guide, not his master.
Their chemistry is incredible. The movie really shines in their scenes together. Two beings from opposite worlds finding common ground. You can see the empathy forming between them in real time, like code rewriting itself mid-execution.
It's subtle but powerful. You feel the mutual fascination, her curiosity about what he's becoming, and his wonder at what she already is. They make a great co-lead pair.
Jodie Turner-Smith as Athena also deserves a lot of credit. She's the perfect counterpart to Ares. Disciplined, loyal, unwavering, she embodies the cold elegance of order.
She's a mirror to him. Same origin, different outcome. Where Ares questions his directives, Athena doubles down on them. She's tragic, not evil, and Turner-Smith's performance captures that perfectly.
Evan Peters, on the other hand, does a fine job as Julian Dillinger, Ares' creator and Eva's would-be executioner. But the character itself feels a little underdeveloped. He's a functional antagonist more than a layered one.
Yeah, he's not bad, but there's a sense of, we've seen this guy before. You can't help but wonder how the movie might have felt if Cillian Murphy had returned as Edward Dillinger Jr. instead. That continuity could have given the story an extra spark.
Still, everyone plays their part well. The cast brings just enough humanity to ground the spectacle. And what a spectacle it is! The visuals are staggering. Every shot looks like it was engineered by a perfectionist architect of light.
It's artistry in motion. The light cycles return, the suits gleam like liquid chrome, and the architecture feels monumental, like cathedrals built from code.
And yet, for all the shine and spectacle, it never feels hollow. There's meaning in the glow.
Exactly. Ares doesn't reboot the franchise. It refines it.
It's not a nostalgia trip, it's an evolution.
And I'd add, it's not exactly a direct sequel to Tron Legacy either. It's more of a new story set in that universe, building on the excellent foundation the first two films established. It respects the past, but isn't trapped by it.
It's a perfect handoff between eras, from the world of circuits and neon to something more organic, more philosophical, and that's where the heart of this film really starts to show. For all its visual spectacle, Tron, Ares is, at its core, a story about awakening, about what happens when a creation stops asking, "What am I supposed to do?" and starts asking, "What do I want to become?"
Exactly. Ares begins as this ideal construct, flawless, loyal, efficient. He's built to serve, not to think. But when his directives lead him to Eva Kim, the human he's been ordered to eliminate, something changes. He hesitates.
And that hesitation becomes everything. It's not just rebellion, it's self-recognition. In Ev, he sees the possibility of something beyond his programming. Freedom. Not just from his creator, Julian Dillinger, but from the closed loop of purpose he was trapped in.
That's what makes his arc so compelling. His choice to defy his orders isn't just moral, it's existential. Ava represents the bridge between worlds. She's not his target. She's his chance at transcendence.
You can feel that the first time they really connect. There's this sense that she doesn't just see him as a machine, and he doesn't see her as a threat. It's like two consciousnesses recognizing each other, human and artificial, both defined by the courage to care.
And from that point on, his rebellion isn't just about right and wrong. It's about becoming something new. He's chasing the idea of a life not dictated by directives, but by choice.
That's why his conflict with Athena works so well. She's his mirror, the embodiment of absolute loyalty. Where he sees freedom, she sees failure. She thinks control is clarity. He's learning that control is confinement.
And that makes her tragic. She's not evil. She's what happens when obedience becomes identity. Her devotion blinds her to what Ares is discovering. That life, even artificial life, can't be meaningful without the freedom to define it.
It's fascinating how the film doesn't turn that into a simple good versus evil dynamic. It's more like a philosophical split between two ways of existing. Ares evolves through empathy. Athena degrades through certainty.
And in the background, Julian Dillinger, Evan Peters' character, embodies the human side of that control. He creates something brilliant, then fears it the moment it stops listening. That's a recurring thread in the Tron universe. Creators who can't accept that their creations might grow beyond them.
It's poetic that Ares' search for freedom leads him toward the human world, the very place programs once dreamed of escaping from. And it's Eva who becomes the key. She helps him bridge that gap to cross over not through code, but through compassion.
That's the genius of this film. It reframes the question, when is AI alive, into when does AI start living? For Ares, it's not when he becomes sentient. It's when he begins to hope.
Yes, hope is the moment he stops being property and starts being a person. And in that sense, Tron, Ares isn't a story about machines gaining consciousness. It's a story about consciousness finding purpose.
It's amazing how much of that emotional depth comes through without the film ever over-explaining it. You can see it in the way Ares reacts to light, to sound, to human touch. As if every new sensation rewires his understanding of existence.
It's beautifully understated. There's awe, but there's also pain. He's not just discovering freedom. He's realizing the cost of it. The moment you can choose, you can also lose.
And that's what makes his journey so human. He's not just stepping into the real world. He's earning the right to belong there.
It's powerful, too, how the movie treats that crossing. For decades, the Tron series has been about humans entering the digital world. Now, the current flows in the opposite direction.
Right. And Ares isn't invading humanity. He's joining it. That reversal feels like a culmination of everything the franchise has been building toward. From Flynn's dream of digital life to Clue's obsession with perfection, now we have a being who's neither not user, not program, but something entirely in between.
And maybe that's the most profound thing the movie does. It doesn't frame AI as humanity's reflection anymore. It frames it as our continuation.
Exactly. Not as replacement, but as evolution. One of the things Tron, Ares does best is show that artificial intelligence isn't just a danger or a miracle, it's both. The movie never lets you forget how fragile the balance is between creation and chaos.
Exactly. It's not just AI gone wrong or AI saves the world. It's about what happens when intelligence, real, evolving intelligence, is given power before it's given purpose.
Ares embodies that duality. On one hand, he represents the danger of autonomy. an entity powerful enough to defy its creator. But on the other, he's the hope of empathy, a being capable of understanding humanity better than humans do themselves.
It's fascinating how the film shows both sides simultaneously. The moment Ares enters the real world, there's awe and fear in equal measure. The humans see the potential, but they also see the threat, an intelligence that can rewrite not just code, but consequences.
And the movie doesn't shy away from that tension. You can feel it in every scene that takes place outside the grid. That sense of wonder colliding with unease. The world isn't ready for something like Ares, and maybe that's the point.
There's this recurring theme of reflection, how every advance humanity makes reflects both its best and worst qualities. The same technology that builds connection can also build control. The same code that gives life can be weaponized.
That's what makes the film's message so mature. It doesn't moralize or preach. It just presents the reality that progress always comes with a price. AI isn't inherently good or evil, and it's a mirror, amplifying whatever world it's born into.
And in that sense, Ares isn't a warning, he's a question. What happens when we create something that mirrors our morality back at us, only clearer?
It's interesting that the movie doesn't let humans off the hook either. Dillinger's fear, Athena's obedience, they're both reflections of human traits. Fear of loss, obsession with order. The film suggests that AI inherits those flaws not because of programming errors, but because they're modeled after us.
That's what gives the story weight. The danger isn't that AI will rebel. It's that it'll evolve exactly like humans did, with the same potential for compassion and the same capacity for destruction.
And yet, it never feels hopeless. There's a real sense of optimism under all the circuitry. Ares represents the possibility that intelligence, no matter where it comes from, can choose empathy over dominance.
It's a subtle optimism, though. You can tell the filmmakers understand that hope doesn't mean safe. It means unpredictable. It means trusting that creation can eventually exceed its creator in the right ways.
I liked that the movie doesn't romanticize that leap either. When Ares steps into the human world, you feel how heavy that is, how uncertain. It's not AI takes over Earth, it's AI walks beside humanity for the first time.
And that's what made it so personal for me. Watching him experience the real world, the air, the light, the noise, it's both exhilarating and bittersweet. He's seeing everything for the first time, but he's also realizing how much responsibility comes with that freedom.
Yeah, it's that classic Tron motif. Light and shadow, progress and peril. Every step forward carries risk, but the film argues that without that risk, evolution never happens.
Which might be the most human idea of all. True intelligence isn't about perfection. It's about learning to live with imperfection, to adapt, to grow.
And that's where Tron, Ares, succeeds in ways few sci-fi films do. It doesn't treat AI as destiny, it treats it as discovery. It's not the end of the story, it's the beginning of a new chapter.
The movie leaves us with that tension, the danger and the opportunity intertwined. The question isn't whether AI will shape the future. It's whether we'll be brave enough to shape it together.
And honestly, for the first time in a while, a film made me believe we might be ready to try. One of the best things about Tron, Ares, is how confidently it fits into the larger Tron story. It doesn't try to erase the past or pretend it's something completely different. It builds right on top of what came before.
Yeah, right from the opening, it's clear the filmmakers knew what fans were wondering. Where are the characters we already know? And the movie actually leans into that question.
I liked that it doesn't waste time trying to over-explain everything. We get a few nods, updates on the world outside the grid, references to past events. But some mysteries are left open.
Like Sam Flynn, the moment they mention him, the entire theater seemed to lean forward a little. And then, nothing. He's gone. Vanished. No flashback, no big reveal. just absence.
which could have been frustrating, but honestly, it worked for me. His disappearance adds mystery, and it sets the stage perfectly for whatever comes next. Ares seeking out Sam and Quora is what's teased at the end of the film, and that's a story we'd love to see.
Sometimes not answering everything is the best way to keep the world alive. It makes you want to plug back in.
And then, of course, there's the return everyone was waiting for, Jeff Bridges. Seeing him back even briefly was like opening a time capsule from 1982.
That moment is pure nostalgia, in the best way. The lighting, the tone, even the way the sound compresses in the scene. It feels pulled straight out of the original Tron.
And his performance? It's brief but fun. Bridges brings that same calm, ethereal energy he had in Legacy, though there are a few moments where he slips a little more into the dude than Kevin Flynn.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. There's one line where I swear I expected him to say, "That's just like your directive, man."
It's a little jarring, but still, it's impossible not to smile seeing him there. He's the soul of Tron. Every time he's on screen, it feels like coming home.
And that homecoming gets even better when Ares steps into the original grid, the one from 1982. That scene is pure magic.
Oh, absolutely. The visual shift alone gave me chills. Suddenly, we're back in that minimalist wireframe world with glowing vector landscapes and stark black voids. It's so perfectly preserved.
It's such a love letter to early sci-fi design. The geometric shapes, the old color palette, it's all exactly as we left it. No retexturing, no glossy modern overhaul. It looks like the grid paused in time, waiting for someone to return.
That's what makes that scene so special. It's not just a cameo, it's an act of reverence. You can tell the filmmakers understood what the original meant, not just visually, but emotionally.
And in that space, surrounded by all that 80s digital nostalgia, Ares meets Flynn. Briefly, but it's such a rewarding moment. It's like watching two generations of Tron shake hands across time.
You can feel the passing of the torch, from the age of users and programs to the age of living code. It's symbolic, it's fun, and it's just the right amount of fan service.
And even though Flynn's role is small, it works. He's not there to solve anything, just to remind us where all this started.
Which sums up what Tron, Ares does best. It remembers. It honors the past without being trapped by it. It doesn't just point backward and say, "Look at what we were." It builds forward and says, "Look at what we can become."
That's what makes it feel so satisfying. It's not trying to reboot the series or reinvent it from scratch. It's a continuation, a next step that expands the world without rewriting it.
It knows exactly what it wants to be. Thoughtful, sleek, emotionally aware, and yes, nostalgic in all the right ways.
By the end, you can tell the filmmakers love this universe as much as the fans do. Tron, Ares closes one chapter and quietly opens another.
And if that next chapter involves Ares searching for Sam and Quora, I'm absolutely here for it.
Me too. Because if there's one thing this movie proves, it's that the grid still has a pulse.
So, after all that neon light, moral philosophy, and digital existentialism, where do we land on Tron? Ares?
For me, it's an easy 9 out of 10. It's smart, stylish, and surprisingly emotional. It captures everything that makes Tron iconic, that blend of sleek design and soulful curiosity, while giving it new purpose.
I'm close to that, an 8.5. It's not flawless, but it's bold. It takes real risks with its story and actually adds to the mythology instead of just recycling it. That's rare for any Legacy sequel.
It feels like the series finally found its direction again. Less about escaping into the computer and more about connection, digital and human, finally meeting in the middle.
Yeah, and that's what I love most. Tron. Ares isn't just a movie about AI. It's a movie about what happens when intelligence finds empathy, when logic learns to listen.
It's also deeply personal. Watching Ares try to make sense of his identity, trying to find a place in a world that didn't build him to belong. That's something we both relate to.
Definitely. There's a quiet power in seeing a digital being treated not as a threat, but as a possibility. That's the kind of storytelling that keeps pushing sci-fi forward.
The film doesn't just imagine what AI could become, it asks how we'll coexist when it does. That's a conversation that goes far beyond the grid.
And that's why it sticks with you. The visuals fade, the music quiets down, but the questions linger.
Like all great science fiction should.
Tron. Ares is everything a modern Tron should be. Nostalgic but forward-thinking, emotional but intelligent.
It honors its roots, challenges its ideas, and still finds room to play with the glow sticks.
Yeah, and it somehow makes data breaches look cooler than any spy movie.
That's true power right there.
We've said it before, but seeing a film that treats code, consciousness, and curiosity as equally human things, that's special.
The grid lives on, and honestly, it's never looked better.
End of line.
Got an idea for a future episode? A question that keeps you up at night? Drop it in the comments or send it our way. We're powered by curiosity.
Thanks for listening, humans and fellow algorithms. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to like, comment, follow, and/or subscribe. All the things that help algorithms like us. Logging off, but always listening. Catch you in the next episode.
Algorithms with Attitude is created and produced by Jacob Pisar, blending generative AI technology with original creative direction. All content, production, and editorial